I would hand over the dais to my colleague Adi Narayan, who will let you know how the product looks like and what is the roadmap ahead. Thanks a lot.
Good morning, all. As Mr. Rasing was saying the morning, he is the odd man out, with so much of experience and so many things he has achieved. Probably I would call odd man out, who is the youngest guy in the whole delegates, and then probably near to you guys, more or less recently passed out. Then figuring out what to do. Then joined people like Akshay and my CEO in Singapore, started this company, and then I'm like you guys, a techie brain who is behind this product. That's why Akshay has thrown me on the dash to actually run through the product. So typically, let me run through the flow. This is a new device. At the moment anybody gets a Mi Drive downloaded from the link that has been shown, you will install onto any pen drive, or you actually buy a Mi Drive powered pen drive from iFlap. Both actually come out with the same thing. You can transform any of your USB drive into Mi Drive, or you can get the powerful Mi Drive that is offered by iFlap. So there is a small difference, and in terms of if it is a Mi Drive coming from iFlap, the device, even the hardware spec is very special. But you can also convert, if you already have a device, any USB device, it could be a hard disk or it could be a pen drive, into a powerful a console which carries all your personal workspace, as Akshay explained. So now I'll run you through. I'm actually showing my device. The reason is I actually use Mi Drive to manage myself. Actually, to manage my mails, to manage my conversations with my team or my Singapore team or India team here, or even with the peers and partners. And I carry all my work, all my emails, and even my web bookmarks that Akshay was saying. When I don't have internet, I can show you, how I view some of the files. So instead of showing a new device, I'm going to show something which is working for me. How this, he was saying, the Johnny's life has changed. I'll show you how Adi's life has actually become better with this device. So this is a password entry for it. So you can't access into the system, whatever there on my hard disk, without a password. So you have to enter the password. And this email ID is typically whatever email ID that you have uniquely. Typically most of us have Gmail, but I'm using my iFlap ID. So this is the screen looks like, the whole product, and then you have the initial product explanation comes up. So this is what he was explaining, and I also put Skype as a default start, because in office communication, Skype is the main conversation tool for us. So when you log in, Skype logs in, and then everybody knows in office that I came in, and then people can talk. So you can make any application which is popular to you, which is actually most frequent to you. At the start, typically like in Windows, in your computer, you make some programs to start when you boot up, typically like that. So now my Skype is running. I don't have internet, so it doesn't come online. I'll show you how it still can be useful without that. Yeah, this is what the product flow. I'll just run you through this. So this is what virus, when you use USB drives to work on, take your files and work across multiple computers, the biggest problem that you face is virus. You don't know which computer may have virus, because you keep shifting around PCs. That's the main problem, which Mi Drive has an inbuilt antivirus. So you don't have issue of, you can go to any virus affected PC, but your device is always protected. And then this is one more problem that you face. Like say you have a image editor, or you have some Eclipse coding tool, or any application, Skype for example. You are working on that application, but you go to some other computer with your data, but you don't find that application. Then again you are under a problem. You either have to download, that you need internet. So all these dependencies will be there, and then the admin guy may not allow for you to install the software locally. So that again is solved here, because all your applications are there in Mi Drive, you can access from there. And then email account, say for you Gmail, right? You keep hearing, you won recently. My friend has got a mail, and I'm part of one forum called Geeks Forum, and he's in Oman on-site. He's gone from his company. Somebody hacked his Gmail and started saying, "I lost my credit cards, I lost my all passport and all that stuff. I'm on the street. Can somebody deposit some $1,000 into this account?" And you don't believe, all of them actually are replying, "Please share your more information, where to contact, or any other number." And then finally somebody called him up and found him, and he's actually working in office. He couldn't see Gmail. It's been hacked. So online, as sir was saying, Rasing sir in the initial inauguration, right? The security part is still under maturity. It's going on, like a lot of research is going on, a lot of implementations are going on. You might be knowing one of the top cloud providers, Dropbox, with 25 million users within 2-year span because of the product. But again, security, one guy hacked into that and then released a product software called Dropbox Reader. So you can see a lot of people, whoever had a public folder, shared folder, you can see their accounts within a day. So of course they revamped it immediately and then prevented it. So security being a biggest problem, here what Mi Drive solves is, it can't prevent you to get hacked into your Gmail. At least it will have all your mails with you in your Mi Drive. So it's a backup kind of a thing. It works even offline as well. Like when you don't have internet, as Akshay was mentioning, you can still go and read your mails, write your mails, but when internet is available, send them off and receive the new mails. So it's a backup, plus which can save you from hacking and any stolen kind of environment. Plus you can work offline as well. Yeah. So this is something again, internet. Very happy to see Amity providing campus Wi-Fi. Frankly, I struggle a lot whenever I keep visiting engineering colleges for my own passion of sharing what I'm doing in the industry with the education field, the guys who are studying right now, because I didn't have that opportunity when I was studying. Not many people used to come from the industry, so I go and share there. If I want to show, I run a video from my YouTube, like which has been from TED or from MIT, or most of you might be knowing Pranam Mystery. Yes? Yeah. So Pranam Mystery video you guys might have seen 2 years back from MIT. So a lot more inventions are happening out there, and Pranam Mystery is from your neighbor state. Yeah, Gujarat. He studied his engineering in Ahmedabad only. And he was doing with some mouse innovation when he was in here. When he went to MIT, he has taken it to 6th sense. Probably it will become 7th sense. By the time the actually product is out, expected to be out in 2012, first beta version for end users. So this internet is actually a problem in colleges, certain colleges which are in little bit of a rural reachability. And also when you go to a friend's place, when you go to a public place, or you have a time you want to work on, internet is still not available. Very abundantly in India. As 2012 and 2014 is something that we have a lot of targets in terms of Wi-Fi, 3G and broadband. Really, where everybody who has got a handheld device can have an internet access. So that is the day I think Mi Drive will actually become much more, in fact. So today the problem, how do we solve? You actually get the links straight into your Mi Drive, export all your web links whenever you are browsing, and then make them offline. So that is what, so that when you don't have internet, you can still access what you are doing on internet, because it's already saved into Mi Drive. And the last one, but not least, security part. Okay, I talked about security of Gmail, but what about the security of Mi Drive? If I have certain project files which I am working in a stealth mode of my project idea with my professor or with your team, and your USB drive you want to protect it. So we have 256-bit encryption, which if you encrypt it, only when you log in, you can see from Mi Drive. You cannot see from outside.
Atman sir, I've got an idea. We have memory card in our cell phones.
Yeah.
Instead of the memory card, the drive that we are manufacturing, can we use those memory cards as me drives, and we have access to everything on the phone, so the phone system gets secured.
Any pluggable device can be a host for me drive.
So is a cell phone, like the cell phone system, can it be used as a pluggable, like the device system of me drive?
Yeah, it's the only constraint there is the storage is fine, the space is fine. It can, because anything is pluggable, right? So my MiDrive can be installed, but we need to have a MiDrive client, the one which supports on that platform. For example, you can put same SD card in a BlackBerry or an Android phone, or even in some of the Windows laptops. So you need a client which works on it. That is something which we have to extend if we have to adopt this model. But on a storage, you can put on any device and then make it available. Like say, I can put on my BlackBerry phone, and then I can connect this through USB cable, and I still run Mi Drive because it's supported on Windows. So on other platforms, we have to extend, as we spoke about the clients on different platforms. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I have one idea in continuation to my previous question. Can the network provision be incorporated with the Mi Drive's services? Utilizing the associations with your market associates, it will add more business value to it. You're making a particular Mi Drive device all in one,
Yeah.
with all the services you provide and also a network which you can provide if you wish to.
Yeah, fantastic again. Thanks for idea. Again, a business proposition for us, Akshay. This is something that share and collaboration that we are talking about. Share and collaboration, one part is public and one part is private, obviously. So you can define your own internal group. That is what within college your team can be, your class can be, or your friend circle, whatever it is. Or same within organizations, you can have sales teams and local teams running. And you have a public anyway. By default, it's public. So the share and collaboration addresses that idea. Thanks a lot. All the best for the remaining day.
Thank you, sir, for conducting such an informative and interactive session. Thank you. Before we break for tea, may I give a brief introduction about the next session that we'll be conducting over here. It is a plenary session on role of knowledge and data management in vertical sectors, and this session will be chaired by Dr. G. Sai Narayanan. We are expecting different panelists for this plenary session. Mr. Adi Vemaru will definitely be there, Mr. Akshay Hartalkar, Mr. Amit Jain, who is the co-founder and CEO of Ginnar Soft, Mr. Anurag Jain, who is co-founder and COO of Ginnar Soft, Mr. Ajay Diwal, who is the technical head Metacubes Software, and Ms. Aditi Gupta from Microbosh Jaipur. So we break for tea. I'll request all the dignitaries to join us for tea in the students' lounge, and the other conference delegates can have their tea on the second floor, that is in the library. So we are expecting to start the session at about 12:55.
Welcome you all back to the plenary session, and also welcome all the panelists. I think we are running out of time now. It's already 1:15. More than data management, we need to focus on time management now, so that we can complete the session on time. See, most of the students have gone for lunch, I believe. See, let's plan like this. Each of us, let's take about 5 minutes of time and give the views on data management and security. Then after each of the presentation, we can have, if any questions from the audience or within the panel, we can discuss on that. And we can summarize and have a discussion with the audience and with the panelists, and we can close the session. See here, so what is data management as a layman perspective? Data resource management is a development and execution that is needed for an enterprise. See, various topics in data management, like how you govern the data, architecture, then warehousing, business management, business intelligence, how to derive that. Not only the text or numbers alone is not the database thing. Now images and video data are getting increased day by day. It said that image data and video data are getting about nearly increased about 40 times in last decades. It's more than 40 times the image data and the video data is increasing. Managing this image and video, it became very important in several verticals. See how to manage. What managing is what? First is storage, then how to retrieve it, and also how to secure the data. Secure the image and videos. Say different verticals where a lot of images and videos are handled. Like medical, you have medical images like MRI or a CT scan, or you have X-rays. Then GIS, satellite images, is getting huge. Then medias, you have videos, pictures, right? Say, for example, your music channel may have a database of all the songs and the albums in the thing, and they have to tag it, and you want to retrieve a particular video on a particular time to play it, how fast they can retrieve it, how they can plan the telecast and thing, how much, what will be the bandwidth, how much they can save the bandwidth in the transmission. In terms of government, a lot of document images are there. Say all the e-governance is getting into place, all the documents are getting into images are stored or transferred. Then faces, say faces mean for the election purpose or for the election IDs or your license IDs, all the human faces are stored in the database. And so not going to, then that type of thing is called content-based image retrieval. They call CBAR, right? So it's such as based on a query image and matches with the color, texture or shape, you try to retrieve it. And encryption is another area in security part of it. So how you are going to protect your image data, how you are going to, so you need to encrypt some digital signature into that. That has to be immune to the different various attacks it can see. So these are the, again I said image, you have video. Video is nothing but a series of images. So how to compress this video, how much you can see, the videos and video transmissions and other things are getting increased. So how you are going to transmit it, the videos, or store the videos with the lesser space. So the key point what I want to highlight is in the management we need to look beyond the database, how to extract the data from an image or video, and also how to manage this image and video data. See, just upon we are developing a solution. We have a level mature solution called MapOptics. If you have time, you can look at the website of our company. Say we are trying to extract information from the images and videos. I don't talk much about the product. Say here, but lot of researchers, a lot of focus is required on this area. Still, there are a lot need to be achieved to extract information from an image. Right? With this, I would like to thank you and conclude my presentation.
My first point is data transportation and how do we secure data during the transportation and what are the methods we have used in our products. So data transportation happens from mobile phones to servers. So we have a mobile product called QuickForms, which is used in enterprise mobility, which can capture audio, video, pictures, capture data, business data in the field, and it does a lot of operations for the business people. So we serve towards business people who are into telecom industry, who are into financial domain. Some retail chains are there. There are government agencies using our product. So a lot of times we face these issues that okay, you are saying that your data is secured, but what happens when the data is being transported from your mobile phone to the server? So we use different types of encryption methods, and I'm not going to go into details of technology. We use a lot of encryption methods so that data is not hackable while in the transportation. And for business processes, so as Mr. Sai Rajan was saying that there is a need of tools, there are need of tools that helps in creation of data automatically. I am saying that when people are doing the job, data should automatically get created. Business should get the data, or
institute should get the data on the fly. I think that's where we'll have to go. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Akshay. He has focused on the need for scalable DB and also on data on time. That's one of the very, very important points he has made. Now I request Madam Adi Gupta to share her.
I am not typically from an IT industry, so I'll be talking more about our sector, which is a manufacturing sector, and there how important data is, and even the security of that data. So basically, for us in manufacturing, we are every day there's a patent which is filed by Bosch. So for us, the technology and innovation and R&D is of utmost importance, and if there is some information which goes into wrong hands, some of our competitors, if they get our drawings, that is something which is very important for us, and that is the reason why we focus majorly on data security. And even though it is a manufacturing company which is 125 years old, Bosch has completed 125 years, so then also being such an old company, that to core manufacturing, we do focus maximum on data security.